Hey everyone, this is the Ron with the Florida Investor Deals live hotline. Every week we have this live that we talk about wholesale deals, then we talk about how to close deals, that we answer questions how to close deals. And today I have Mike here. We're back in the office. No more technical issues. We're back. And how you doing, Mike?
Doing great. Definitely better than last week because you guys could not hear me.
Right, right. So yeah, I'm happy to be here back. If you guys have any questions, post them in the comments or call us 904-770-3195. We can answer all your questions live. If you need to talk to a seller, to a broker, to a title company, whatever you have, just call us and we'll help you close the deal. Right. So Mike, how was your week closing deals this
The
week?
week has been great. We have a new acquisition agent that is doing absolutely amazing, and it's very good to see somebody just go in there and learn how to do it, and ultimately, that acquisition agent almost got us a deal
Right.
because he found a lead, his own lead, and we called him, and it ended up not working out, but it was very close.
Right.
But
So
yeah.
what do you think is the best skill set for a new acquisition agent to have once they start calling people? What do they need to have?
I think the number one skill set is definitely negotiating with people because and not only that, I think a very important skill set to have is to not sound like a robot on the phone, not sound like a salesperson. You need to sound like you're a human being, and you need to match their energy. And if they're going at you, you need to go back at them because if you kind of act like a salesperson, they're going to feel that, and they're not going to think that you're a legit buyer, and
Right.
therefore they're not going to talk to you like they would talk to a real investor.
So what would you think is the best way for somebody to practice or to train? How would they sound like they're normal? Let's say you're somebody that kind of like getting stressed when you're talking to people that you don't know, but you still want to do wholesale. You still want to make deals happen. So what would you need to do or in order to sound natural on the phone?
I think it's very counterintuitive, but don't use a script.
So don't use a script.
No.
Okay. So what would you tell me?
I'd say start with a script, learn the questions, but deviate from the script as soon as possible. Because if some of the scripts, they sound very salesy, and if you follow it, you're gonna sound like you're reading, and people can tell. But if you know the questions by heart, just because you're just doing it every single day, you're gonna get better at deviating from the script and become much better at talking to sellers.
Right. So yeah, follow a script, but put it in your own words, right? Put it in your own words, your own language. And another thing that you said, keep calling them every day. Keep training every day. Keep talking to people every day, because if you don't do it every day, you do it once a week or twice a week, and that's all, you're not going to be good at that. Right? And asking them the right questions, because I see a lot of people when they start calling people, they start calling sellers, all they do is go for the numbers, go for the price, or go for the technical questions, which is what's the condition of the property. But it's not important. Let me tell you, the condition is not important. You can get to the condition once you relate to the seller.
Right, exactly. And also, like, the condition, I noticed that I learned from you that even the property condition questions are a way to get them down on price. So you're not actually just trying to find out the property conditions. You're trying to make them think about how they have a horrible roof and it needs to be replaced.
Exactly.
And therefore they should give you a discount.
And it's funny because when you start asking them about conditions, and you start asking them when the last time did you change something, they're always going to tell you the house. Most of the time, the house is great. You don't need to do anything. I live here for 25 years. I've been living here. The house is great. And you're thinking to yourself, 25 years you've been living there, you didn't do anything to the house. I guess the condition is not that great. And let me tell you. So the people. I mean, you gotta tell them. You gotta make them understand that there are certain things that if you don't update them every few years, they get old.
Right. And then I think a really important thing that I've learned recently is that understanding how to use Zillow and look at comps while you're on the phone is extremely important, because that's a huge negotiating thing, because you can destroy your seller's confidence about what they think their home is worth immediately if you just start talking to them about what the homes in their area are actually selling for.
Yeah, actually selling, not ours being sold right now, not active on the market, because a lot of them will go into Zillow, they'll put the property address in Google, right, and they'll come up, and then you see Zillow with a bunch of listing around it, and they'll see different numbers, and they're like, oh wow, my property is worth so much. But those are for sale. It doesn't mean that they're all actually sold. And it doesn't mean that somebody is going to buy them at that price. So people are they're wrong about their property value. And you have to teach them. But how you teach them is not by going straight to the numbers, straight to how did you come up with that? What do you think? Why do you think your property is worth that much? I mean, you got to ask them a lot of different questions before, so they can relate to you, and then you get to the price.
Right. And I have to give credit on what I'm about to say to the new acquisition agent, because he came up with this. He is a realtor, and he was talking about how a lot of realtors will take listings even if they're super high, and they'll tell sellers that their house is worth a lot, and they'll take the listing just because they can get it. And using that as a way to negotiate them down and make them understand that a realtor might not really be in their favor is a good thing to do.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, realtors have their, I respect realtors. I work with realtors every day, brokers, everything. But I mean, some of them, the seller will say a crazy price, and the realtor, just to get a listing, and they'll say, yes, okay, well, you decide. But actually, you as a realtor or broker, you're the professional. You need to give your client, the right perspective, the right numbers, the right information to make the decision, and not let them decide the price and then go back, put it on the market, and nobody buys that, and then they come back with problems to you. They'll come saying, you can't sell the house, I don't want you as my agent. But instead of that, just go with the information, tell them what's the property worth, tell them what properties are selling, and then it's going to be much easier job for you than coming back.
All right.
So today I wanted to talk about four pillars for you to have as a wholesaler, 4 pillars that you need to have, that you need to master to be a great wholesaler, right? So the first thing that I have for you is the right mindset. Mindset is everything. If you are, if you feel bad, if you feel sorry for yourself, if you are afraid of failure, let me tell you, it's not the right mindset to be a wholesaler. In that mindset, wholesaler, I mean, you gotta deal with a lot of failures, right? Every time you call a seller and they don't accept the price, that's like a failure. But it's not. It's actually a stepping stone for you to go higher and higher. So the right mindset is just to keep pushing forward, to keep trying, to keep calling, to keep doing that consistently, even when you're not successful. You actually want to fail at the beginning, so you can build a strong mindset. And then once you move forward and you start closing deals, you're going to be much more stronger. Your mindset is going to be much more stronger, right?
It's kind of like anti-fragility.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you gotta fail to be successful. That's what I always say. You gotta fail, and you gotta fail a lot to be successful. So that's the first thing that I have.
And what about obviously when people are wholesaling, they might go a long time without getting deals and stuff like that, and they need to get better and better so that they can get more deals. What should be the mindset when there's that little gap there where they aren't closing deals?
The mindset should be, I can close the next one. I can close the next one. Let me do another one. Let me talk to another seller. And that's actually lead me to the second pillar, which is the right network, right? You got to be around a right network of people, and you got to listen and see what's going on in the market. So other investors, other wholesalers, closing agents, brokers, title companies, inspectors, all that people that you have in your network are going to help you determine what you're doing wrong, actually, by talking to them and seeing what's going on in the market, talking to other investors, JV with other investors, wholesalers. You're going to see what's working for them, and it's going to help you close deals yourself. So yeah, that's like the gap. If you see that you can't close yourself, go to your network and see what's working for them.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that exactly?
Talking to people. That's the number one rule for making money. Right? The number one rule for making money is talking to people. Don't stay behind your computer all day sending emails and texts and crap. Right? Talk to people, okay? Talk to the sellers, talk to buyers, talk to wholesalers, to brokers, to title companies. Talk to people. Don't stay behind your computer and try to make deals because it's not going to work. You got to talk. Talk. You're going to make the money.
Right. Well, what do you think? Like, obviously, that's a skill. Like, what skill sets do you think are needed? Wait, did we just talk about that?
The skill set is I'll tell you, the right mindset is to talk to people, not afraid of talking to people, not afraid of failure. And the skill set is just want to do better.
Right.
You want to do better every day, so you train.
Right.
You practice that.
Exactly. What I meant was what tools do you need in wholesaling? Or do you need tools at the beginning?
So that's the third pillar, Micah.
Yeah.
You're going forward. All right. The third pillar is the right tools. So what are the tools that you're using in your business? So we see that we have a lot of data, right? A lot of leads, a lot of different things. We have sellers, we have buyers, we have wholesalers, investors. There's a lot of different data. You can't store everything on your phone. You got to have the right system. A CRM is the right system to put everything in place, so you know who you need to follow up with. And we use a lot of Google Sheets also, because if you have, let's say you're starting a new list right now, you want to start a list of wholesalers in the area because you want to reach out to them every week, 2 weeks, to talk to them about what's going on in the market, right? So I'm not going to put it in my CRM because it's like a new thing that I'm trying. I'm going to put it in a Google Sheet just to try that. And once I see it's working, then I'm going to move that into my CRM.
Right. And I know that you're a big proponent of not putting all of the leads into your CRM, because then it gets really cluttered and you can't follow up with everybody.
Exactly. So you gotta be really like rigid, really protect your CRM to have only the right data in your CRM. Don't put all your crap into the CRM, because then you don't know who you need to follow up with.
What kind of criteria do you have for putting a lead into your CRM?
So it gotta be a hot lead, or somebody that's looking to sell right now, or is gonna be in the market to sell in the next few months. But if they are not sure, I'm not putting them in my CRM. If they are looking for a crazy price, I'm not putting them in my CRM. I'm going to put them in a different list that I'm putting them on. That's a cold list that I'm going to give someone else just to follow up with them. But they're not in my CRM to call them every day. In the CRM, I only want my hot leads, my hot sellers or buyers, to be able to reach out to them on a daily basis.
Right.
Close them. Right. So the right tools is the CRM, is the texting software, is to have the right ARV software. I mean, you can use Zillow, you can use other softwares. You need a software to pull down, download lists, skip trace lists, all that stuff. Those are tools that you need as a wholesaler. If you're just starting out and you don't have money for all that stuff, you can reach out to your network. The second pillar, network. Reach out to your network and ask them for help. If they can give you some lists, if they can give you skip trace lists, if they can give you some old leads that you can practice on. That's also a good thing for if you are just hiring acquisition agents. You can give them old leads just to practice.
Or if you really wanted, if you're just starting, you could also just use for sale by owner. There's been some good results from that.
Yeah, for sale by owners are also good for practice.
Yeah.
Also good for, you can get deals from those. Yeah, so a lot of for sale by owners also not on Zillow, on Facebook Marketplace. Mm-hmm. You can talk. A lot of people on Facebook Marketplace are wholesalers or investors, but some of them are not. So you can call them and practice with them.
Right. I mean, we realized a few days ago that people that are wholesalers won't actually say they're wholesalers, and they won't want to do an assignable contract because they're wholesalers, but they're not going to say that. And
they're going to say I'm the owner, but they're not the owner. But you can smell them just by hearing the terms. There are no inspections. They want non-refundable deposit. You got to close in 2 weeks. So all that stuff, if you're calling people and they're saying they are the owners, but that's their terms, they're probably not the owner. They're just a wholesaler. So you need to know that. But use those free tools to practice to be better, right? And if you close a deal, then you can invest some of the money for good tools, for better tools. The fourth thing that I have for you is actually the skill set. So what's the skill set? Is how to use
the systems, right?
No, we have the systems. So we have the mindset, we have the tool, we have the skill, the tools, the network, skill set. All right, skill set is how you actually do ARVs, how you actually do a contract. That's what you need to know, how to do a contract. Because if you have a seller right now that's looking to sell, how are you going to sign him a contract? So you need to know how to sign a contract. Right? The skill set is how to do comps and how to talk to the seller. How are you going to talk to the seller if you don't know what to tell them, right? So that's a skill set that you have to practice. We already talked about it so much, but a lot of things as a wholesaler, as an investor, you got to learn them. That's a skill set that you got to learn, right? So you've been doing that for a while now. What are the things that you see that help you develop your skill set?
And speaking with sellers,
anything.
Right. Well, I think the number one thing is being able to talk to people, like you said. It's a very, very important. And then obviously being able to, I guess a skill set is being able to dig for the pain is a really good one, because if a lot of people, when you start, especially if you haven't done any calling or anything like that, it's going to be very hard to ask people about their situations. And meanwhile, that's the most important part.
Exactly. Right?
Yes. And then you'll notice that if you ask them for their situation at the beginning of the call, at the end, you can tie that back in. And along with, the property conditions, and along with, the negotiations that you're doing in the comps, you can throw in the reason why they're selling to get a lower price on the property.
Yeah. That's very important that you always tie it back and go back to why they're selling, because if they want a crazy price, but they have a lot of reasons why they want to sell, then you come back to that and you tell them, well, you remember you told me that you need to sell because you got to move next month. How are you going to sell it at that price if you need to move in a month? So that you put that in their mind, right? So there's a lot of things. The skill set is very important, but the more you do it, the more you develop your skill set.
There's no way to get over that fear of asking them about that except doing it. You can't read about it.
Yeah. Like reading a book is not going to make you a better investor. Exactly. I mean, it's gonna give you some knowledge, but I mean, actual to close deals, you can do it by a book.
Right.
You can do it by reading, listening to a podcast. You can do it by watching videos. Like you're watching us, and we're giving you some real great ideas and things. But you won't be able to close deals if you don't do it. You go out and do it yourself, right?
All right.
So yeah. What other questions we had? Did you have other questions?
No, I think we went through all of it. We went through a lot of things here, and I think
the most important thing for you, and like I told you, the number one rule that I have for you is talk to people, talk to them, talk to the buyers, talk to the sellers, see what they have to say, and even if they are rude to you on the phone, don't take it personally. It's all business, right? They don't know you, they never met you. They don't know who you are. Don't take anything personally in this business. It's all business. And sometimes you feel bad because somebody hang up the phone on you, or they cuss you on the phone, or they say, don't call me anymore. Who are you? And they call your names and stuff like that.
Right. I think a really good thing would be probably to base your enjoy getting the rejections. Like, stack your rejections. Like my goal today is to get 20 rejections.
Exactly. I like it. Yes.
not the opposite.
Exactly. And once you start getting those rejections, then it's kind of make you laugh. You having fun on the phone with people because you already know what they're thinking, and you're just coming back at them with more questions and more things. I mean, eventually you'll be the master. Master closer is the one that doesn't care about all that, is just going for the close and keep asking questions and more things.
Right. And I think that's also really important too. I learned that recently from you, to go on with the seller and talk to them for a long time.
Right.
Because the more you talk to them, the more you're going to uncover.
Exactly. So if you're going to call sellers and say, okay, I have 2 minutes, I got to call the seller, don't do that. Just don't call them. You got to be on the phone with them for a long time. You got to ask them the questions, keep asking them the same questions over and over, and relate to them and get in touch with them on a personal level. Even though you don't take it personally, you got to be very personal with the sellers.
Right, exactly. Because what you used to say that, 4 appointments is a lot, and I didn't understand that. I thought like you had to go and call 30 people a day, but no, you should really.
You do got to call 30 people.
Yeah, that's great.
Not everybody's going to answer.
Right, but then. But then if you get on the phone with 4 actual booked appointments, the sellers that really want to sell, and you spend a lot of time, like 45 minutes a piece on the phone with them, that's how you said to do it.
Exactly. And another thing that I want to tell you guys, you got to have at least 5 to 10 appointments every day with sellers to be able to close 1 deal a week. Right? If your goal is to close a deal a week, you got to have at least 5 to 10 appointments every day with sellers to talk to them and to follow up with them. And that's how you're going to close at least 1 deal a week.
And when you say 1 deal a week, do you mean contracts or deal, like close?
Deal close, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if out of those 10 appointments, you can maybe send 2 or 3 contracts and then close 1, at least 1. But don't have like 2 people to call a day. That's not enough. You got to have a lot of people. And if you don't have a lot of people, you don't have a lot of leads, talk to us. Maybe we can help you generate some leads, generate some motivated sales, because we have our ways, and we talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. All right, guys. So if we don't have any more questions, you can post your comments down below in the group on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, or ask us questions after, DM us. But if there are no more questions, thank you so much. It was great, Mike.
Yep.
As always, and I'll see you guys next week.